Now this is the demographic transition. I'm not going to spend much time on that, but it is a word I'm going to use, so I want you to understand what I mean by that. Demographic transition is a question about population growth and the status of a population, especially in regards to the natural increase of the population, especially in regards to the births and the deaths. Okay, so in stage one you have high births and high deaths. And as you can see, the total population is relatively low compared to the other stages. In stage two, you still have high birth rates, but the mortality rate drops, so there is a tremendous growth in the population. In stage three, the birth rates begin to fall and the death rates fall more slowly. And so you have still an increase in the population. Stage four, you have low birth weights and low mortality rates, which is what the human population is approaching everywhere, although some regions like Africa and certain parts of Asia continue to have more high fertility rates and to some relatively high compared to other populations, mortality rates. And you get to the fifth stage, which we are approaching, which is where we have very low birth rates and very low death rates. Some populations have birth rates which are so low that the population growth becomes negative and there's population decline. So demographically, race has had a profound impact on humanity. Now, the Columbian exchange is an idea that we have heard quite a bit of in the last 20 or so years. And the idea here, and especially for demographers, has been that the population reached 1 billion around 1800 because of the Columbian exchange, between 1500 to 1800. But I think now, if we kind of take the blinders off, we could conclude that the human population reached 1 billion around 1800 because of the sacrifices of the indigenous populations in Africa, Asia, and the Americas and some islands. That is, the story is not only told by the new food sources that went to Europe, not only told by the ability of European and what some people have called the new Europes outside of Europe, having accelerated population growth because of the nutrients and because of the wealth now being accumulated to improve the populations. Now, what is this exchange? This is an image of the exchange. I think I'm not working there. How about here? Oh, there we go. So this is what I call the first demographic racial transition. And that is occasioned by the great dispersion of people from Europe and the creation of a tremendous European diaspora in the United States, in Canada, in Mexico, in Brazil, in Ecuador, in Peru, in Colombia, in New Zealand, in Australia. And this European diaspora really transformed the spaces in which they landed because they brought with them a form of colonization that often meant the devastation of the indigenous populations that were there. One of their responses to this devastation of the populations present was to then enslave large numbers of Africans to supplement the process of colonization. And this map is just my effort at showing it. So it's more a graphic demonstration than it is a fact. Now, in the 19th century, for the most part, the number of Africans who were transported for this labor needs, it was reduced substantially. And then after that, many people were brought from Asia to also supplant these needs or to fulfill these needs in these other parts of the world.